Welcome to the SG Cash and Internship Job Opportunities briefing, this is the last briefing for the day. Okay, I'm Kenneth. I'm the Managing Director and also the Chief Operating Officer of SG Cash Private Limited. Okay, the agenda for today's briefing. So I will go through a brief introduction of our company, SG Cash Private Limited. And from there, we'll talk about our positioning, market outreach, our exclusion list, core strategies, and how we manage credit risk, our financing packages, and also we will give you a comparison between the banks and financial institutions and also SG Cash, and followed by internship opportunities. I will also go through some slides prepared by our interns who actually completed their internship in January this year, their winter internship. All right, and last but not least, I will share more about the job opportunities currently that are open in SG Cash. Okay, let me now give you a brief introduction of SG Cash. We are a licensed corporate lending company under Min Law. Okay, we provide short-term corporate financing facilities such as term loan, overdraft facility, all right, sales invoice financing, and other loans to SMEs in Singapore. Okay, currently we are only one of the few companies in Singapore, less than 10, receiving the certificate of exemption under Section 35. Okay, we do not loan to individuals, and we specialize in supporting SMEs in Singapore, but not other countries, only in Singapore. And we complement existing corporate bank facilities. Okay, let me first introduce my chairman, Dr. Serge Bisanja. Dr. Serge currently is in France because of this COVID-19. He's not able to join us today. So, in future, if you're intern in our company or you are our employee, all right, Dr. Serge have a lot of sharing session which you are able to join. Okay, Dr. Serge is a senior consulting expert with IMF and World Bank. He is currently also the finance professor at HEC Business School, ranked second globally by the Financial Times. All right, he was also previously consulting expert with IMF and World Bank, okay, on fintech and blockchain, and he advised IMF on risk scoring for banks and fintech sector. At the same time, Dr. Serge also write the book, is a co-author of the Banking Regulation Risk Scoring course, all right, and also for the IMF Institute. And he's also the former acting director of IMF Asian joint venture with MES in Singapore. All right, a bit more on myself. I'm Kenneth. So I'm the managing director and CEO of SG Cash Private Limited. Prior to joining SG Cash, I've been an educator with the Ministry of Education for 10 years. Okay, so all right, so for SG Cash positioning, so SG Cash aims to position ourselves to accept slightly riskier customers with compensation of higher returns, which means we charge higher interest. All right, and we manage the credit risk. In order to manage our credit risk further, we only loan to SMEs for a maximum of 12 months. Okay, as of today, we have reached out to more than 1,000 businesses in Singapore, supported close to 500 unique businesses across various industries such as F&B, retail, engineering, construction, and many, many more. Okay, we also cleared more than 30 million worth of loans, all right, over the past 3 years. So we do not loan to these organizations and companies dealing with precious materials trading, all right, holding companies, and in some sort of like defense and military equipment trading, etc. Our core strength, okay, we have a high barrier of entry, which means because of this stringent regulation requirements by Min Law, okay, so we have to follow certain protocols. And we also have a quality client base. We have reputable and established SME customers with solid credit track record. And last but not least, we do have a 3-tier credit control system. As a credit and risk management intern or an officer in my company, okay, this is very important because this credit control system is used to actually used to approve a loan. So from the day we receive the loan application, we will have this 3-tier credit control system to follow, all right, right to the rejection or approval of the loan. It's managed and administered by the finance committee, which I'm also one of the members there. Okay, so how we manage credit risk, we have this three-tier system. The first is the credit scoring system. We have our own in-house algorithm whereby when we collect the documents or receive the loan application from the SMEs, then we will key in all the information in this system and it will tell us whether it is okay to proceed to the next stage. So if documents that we collect are their NRIC, their NOA, 6 months corporate bank statements, credit bureau report, and also their financial statements as well. All right. So if the system tells us to go to the next stage, then we will conduct an on-site site visit. So in SG Cash, we conduct 100% site visit, which means, right, even if the system say we are good to go and going to approve certain loans, but if the site visit tells us, when we interview our clients and, from certain things that we see during the site visit, that is against what the credit scoring system tells us, and we would not approve the loan. So that's why site visit is very important. So as a credit and risk management intern or an officer, you'll be able to have a chance to meet the SME bosses through the site visits. And I mean, you really can learn a lot of things because we meet clients, and also all our SMEs are from different sectors and different industries. Okay, after which, if the loan is going to be approved after the site visit, I think that, our credit and risk management department felt that, okay, this is a very good case, or it's good to go. All right. The credit officer or the credit and risk management intern will write a credit report. If you are an intern here, you will be able to have a chance to learn how to write a credit report, okay, and submit to the credit committee panel, whereby me, Dr. Serge, and some of our members, okay, once we all agree, the loan will be approved. All right. So our financing packages that we offer in SG Cash, as you can see from the left to the right, we have this growth package, which is our signature package, which is a normal term loan for up to 12 months. We also do flexi package whereby clients paid on, interest servicing. They can choose to pay interest servicing for the first few months, whereby they pay the principal at the last few months. We also do secured loans. We take in properties such as condominium, landed property, and also corporate companies, buildings or whatever, etc. All right, we also do sales invoice financing, entrepreneur growth package. This entrepreneur growth package is a new package to assist new SMEs, which means those new companies that incorporated less than 2 years, to help them to set up the company. All right, as you can see, our loan tenure are all up to 12 months only. Okay, a comparison between banks, FIs, and SG Cash. Our loan tenure is only up to 12 months as compared to the bank is up to 5 years, right? Interest per se, we charge a monthly interest from 1.8% upwards, whereas the bank charge between 5 to 15% on an annual basis. All right. In terms of loan amount, we only loan up to $300,000. As for bank, I think nowadays they loan up to $5 million or $8 million. Okay. In terms of loan option, okay, if you can see that bank usually they offer a fixed term or even a fixed package. As for SG Cash, we will try to listen to our client needs. So we will try to customize to what they prefer. Like for example, we have clients who requested us, they want to pay on a certain day or certain time or something like that. We will try to match their requirement, but even if we cannot match their requirement, we'll try to stay as close as possible. Okay. For turnaround time, it will be about 2 to 4 working days, but on average, it's about 3 working days for us to approve or reject a loan, okay, upon receiving of the full documentation. As for banks, it will take probably 2 to 4 weeks. Risk level, I mean, we accept a mid to higher risk. It doesn't mean that we accept very high risk client. We still have a standard protocol. We have a standard to follow so that we will make sure that all these loans are approved to legitimate business. Loan criteria, we are not as stringent as the banks or financial institution, but we are also not as lenient. Okay, we are in the middle, moderate. In terms of approval wise, as the same. For repayment options, we are very different because we do have a lot of repayment options whereby client can choose to pay on a daily basis, weekly, bi-weekly, on a monthly basis. The reason is because we do a lot of F&B. We have a lot of F&B and retail clients. Some of them receive cash on every day because due to the cash transaction. So they prefer to pay on a daily basis. So it's easier instead of them paying on a monthly basis. All right. And our commitment is on a short-term basis instead of a long-term as compared to the banks and FIs. Okay, now I'm going to go into the internship opportunities in SG Cash. Okay, as you can see, as an intern in SG Cash, all right, you will be able to understudy quite a number of, of areas. For example, assessment and approval of loan applications, the management of loan accounts, which include how you prepare loan agreements, the documents, the repayment arrangement. Okay, you will be also able to learn the review of loan documents and credit policy, analyze potential loan markets, develop referral networks, financial policies and internal controls for system processes. Basically, as a credit and risk management intern in my firm, you will learn everything from the start to the end. Okay. In addition, you also learn to attend to sales appointment. You don't have to do any sales. You just go there and see how our business associates do a sales. This, like, you can learn some soft skills from these appointments. Okay, how to prepare monthly financial and management report, prepare weekly loan account report, and also other any ad hoc matters as arranged by the management. Okay, our requirement for internship in our company, an undergraduate in a finance-related discipline, preferably in banking and finance. However, if you do not have a banking and finance qualification, you are still welcome to apply. Okay. We are looking for bilingual students as well. Preferably, you can speak both English and Mandarin. The reason is we do have some clients who are only Mandarin speaking. So for communication-wise, it will be easier. I think that point is very important. We are looking for independent, meticulous, dedicated, and committed individual who is able to work under stressful conditions. Please don't be bothered by this stressful word. Basically, is, you know, sometimes we do receive loan applications. There are multiple loan applications on a single day. So basically, you need to know your time management. How do you deal with this? You know, how do we review a documents when you receive a few number of application at the same time? I think most importantly, if you have the right attitude, you have the right character, you're welcome to join us. So we are not looking for you have fancy grades of a perfect score. As long as you're willing to learn, you're welcome to join us. Okay, our working hours in SG Cash is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 5 days a week, and we are located in Raffles Place, just next to the MRT. So it's very convenient, even if you stay, like, you know, at the far end of the north, south, east, west of Singapore. All right. Okay, I'm going to share with you about something more on this SG Cash internship journey. These are PowerPoint slides prepared by my two interns who they just completed their internship in January this year. Okay, on the left side, you will see Jing Hong, and on the right side, you will see Dan Lee. Okay, I will not go into the company background as I've already shared with you earlier. Okay, I'll share more on what are the workflow that you can expect as an intern in SG Cash. Okay, basically, we will collect these 5 mandatory documents from our client: the NRIC, the credit bureau, the latest 6 months company bank statement, 2 years NOA of the director, and 2 years financial statement of the company. So once you receive the documents, and then you will key into the system, whereby the system will tell you whether we can go to the next stage. If the credit scoring says okay, you know, then you have to review all these documents, and at the same time, pick and see whether there's any fraudulent or any suspicious transaction in the documents that they've provided. Okay, as a credit and risk management officer or intern, you need to be very meticulous. You need to be very careful to be able to actually catch any funny things going out there. Okay, this is very important. All right. So after you analyze the documents, and then you will be able to then we will schedule a site visit. The site visit is also very important, as you know, through the interview with our SME bosses, you'll be able to understand whether they are running a legitimate business. You can see how, you know, the bosses reply our queries, our questions that we have, you know, and then a lot of times we realize that you know, when we conduct a credit scoring, after the credit scoring is approved, but when we went for the interview, it seems like it is not what the system says. All right, so, and we will reject the case. But on the other hand, even if the credit scoring says that it is not a very good case, but when we went for the interview, it seems like, oh, this is a very legitimate business. It's just that they are facing some difficulty out there. All right, so that's why site visit is very important to us. And as a credit and risk management intern, you will have a chance to meet SME bosses across various industries. All right. Okay, after which a loan is approved, then as a credit and risk management intern or officer, we have to onboard our client, prepare the loan documents like letter of offer, term sheet, deed of guarantee, broad reso, and sign all the documents, and finally the loan disbursement. Okay. And lastly, it will be repayment monitoring, and you need to monitor to ensure that the payment received are on time. In the event that if you don't pay on time, we have to send reminder. We have to also, even after a certain deadline, if the client doesn't pay up, we have to go through the next step, which is like go through legal means or account restructuring, etc. All right, this is what this is a slide prepared by the interns lah. Okay. So, okay, I will be sharing with you two case studies with which Jing Hong and Dan Lee, they actually went through. So the first case study, as you can see, okay, it's a construction and electrical works company, okay, and you'll be surprised to find out that it's home-based. Actually, up to today, up to now, I'm still, I cannot imagine, owning a construction and electrical works company, but it's home-based, all right? So, and these two directors, they are permanent residents. Okay, they're permanent resident. Usually, if the directors are permanent resident, we consider the case as a higher risk case. All right. Okay, and they are now currently under the credit card debt consolidation plan, which means that they are facing some financial difficulties out there. So these are all the red flags as a credit and risk management officer or an intern. You need to raise all these red flags. All right, you need to be meticulous. You need to be very careful, look through all the documents and raise all the red flags. All right, so in order to understand the case better. Okay. Next. All right, other than all the various company information, all right, we also look into the bank statement of the company itself. All right, you will look at the deposit withdrawal. Sometimes we will see bank statements with large withdrawal, large deposit and large withdrawals at certain months. We will, as a credit and risk management intern or officer, you will have to query the client why are there such a large amount of in and out during that period. All right, if the client is able to justify, then we will close the case. But of course, in a lot of times, clients were not able to justify this big chunk of money in and out. All right, this is why do we have to ask all these questions, is to ensure that the loan that we actually disperse are for legitimate business operations and not for anything else. All right. Okay, for this case study, as you can see, they have very extremely weak cash flow. All right, they have negative retained earnings. And as I shared to you, the directors are permanent resident. They are under debt consolidation plan. So in the end, this case was rejected. Okay, so as a credit and risk management intern or officer, you need to know all this. When do we accept? Why do we accept this case? There must be a supporting reason. There must be facts. There must be proof. All right, to support all this. If it's only through the words of the client, then it's not counted. All right. Okay, Jing Hong also came up with a repayment schedule template for us, and this will be quite easy by just a click, and then everything will be out. All right. Case study 2 is by Dan Lee. So he also Jing Hong and Dan Lee also went for this site visit as well. It's located at Yishun. What this company does is they do storage solutions, all right, to companies in Singapore. Okay, it's owned by this very young lady who is less than 30 years old. So sometimes if we have a client who are less than 30 years old, this is also considered a higher risk. Why? The reason is because their directorship, they are not in the business for a longer period. It's just a very short period. So usually those who are in the business for a longer period will consider them as a better choice. All right. And also this client, she had a bankruptcy and financial suit in 2012. So as a credit and risk management intern, again, you need to be very clear. When a client have any lawsuit, legal suit, bankruptcy charges, even the person is not bankrupted, this is considered a red flag. All right. And next, you can see from the third point, client has zero account, zero credit account, which means no credit cards, and rated GX. GX is a rating in the credit bureau, which if you are intern in my company, you will learn all the various rating, AA, BB, CC, DD. All of us will have a credit bureau report. You can actually download your own as well from www.creditbureau.com.sg. Okay. So we also teach you how do we see the credit bureau report. All right, what are these inquiries about? Why is it that this client is having a GX rating? All right, it's very important as a credit and risk management intern, all right, to understand all this. And fourth, they say that deposit less, withdrawal negative on average, and seem to have a few suspicious transactions. So as a credit and risk management officer or an intern, you actually need to review the documents and list out what are all this information about. Okay, and these are the pictures taken by the intern as well. Okay, a case study. You can see after that was just now the information mentioned was before the site visit, but after the site visit, it seems like Danley has a different view. He said that companies seem to be doing legitimate business. From all the goods that you can see, they have a van. We have already covered up the company name due to confidentiality. All right, the director gave a good impression. She's able to answer all the queries that we have for her. Okay, and she clarified about her poor credit rating as well. So it's very important that this site visit, right, will aid us in our approval process. Right. So in the end, this case was approved. Okay, Danley also helped us with a late fee calculation template as well. He came out with this, and then by just a click, everything will be out. It's simplified. Okay, they also shared on learning points of their internship, their 8 weeks internship in my firm. Okay, firstly, VBA knowledge. They actually gain more knowledge regarding this VBA, which is Visual Basic for Application, that was not taught in NTU. Both of them are from NTU as well, and they are from the banking and finance. All right, I think this is very important. Number 2, interpersonal skills, because as an intern, you'll be able to follow us for site visits to meet the SME bosses. And the people that you meet are SME bosses, not the rank and file or not the general workers. All right. So when you meet SME bosses, you probably will expect the way we communicate with the bosses, our body language, and you can also see how the bosses communicate with us. So it's very different. You also learn a lot of things throughout all these site visits. Thirdly, meticulous attitude. I have always been focusing on meticulous. Why? Because as a credit and risk management officer, you need to be very, very meticulous and careful. There are a lot of documents that you need to read. There are a lot of documents that you need to look through to make sure that this case is a legitimate case and there are no suspicious transaction or fraudulent transactions in the documents provided. Okay. And lastly, broaden understanding. Throughout their internship journey, I also threw in some sharing session other than just on work. And they actually came here. It was during the US election. So we have some sharing on how the US election outcome will affect Singapore. And, it's a very good way for us. We have all this kind of sharing to develop their critical thinking abilities and skills as well. All right. Jin Ho and Delhi also prepare something for the areas of improvement. Firstly, being thorough is also being meticulous as well. So sometimes, they might have missed out certain stuff, and this is because of human errors. So as a credit and risk management officer or intern, you need to be very careful. If you make certain errors, it will affect the whole loan process. Because if this case is something that's not supposed to approve, and yet you recommend it for approval, it might become a bad debt in future. Secondly, healthy skepticism. We have to think very critically and don't trust the words of our clients. Never trust the words. It's not say that they are dishonest, but because businessmen, when they talk to you, they probably will only say all the positive thing. All right. So you will learn, because as the more SME bosses that you meet, you will probably learn along the way that, okay, some of the bosses, they will try to, boast how good their business are, this and that. So we don't trust. What we rely on is facts and proof. If we do not have the facts and proof, then whatever they say is not, sufficient or counted. Thirdly, time management is very important. Sometimes we have multiple loan applications received within a day. So it's very important for you to manage your time as well. Okay. Yeah, sometimes we have lesser loan applications. So it depends on the period. Like, for example, this Lunar New Year, 2 weeks before Lunar New Year, a lot of bosses are looking to, pay out the bonuses to their employees. So we have an influx of loan applications. So you need to be mindful that during this period, we need to, spend more time and also manage our time properly. Okay, last but not least, professional communication. You need to ensure that how we speak, because we are meeting SME bosses, we are meeting bosses. So the way we speak to them, we must show them a respect. Okay, even if I'm the boss of the company now, all right, I will also, make them look happy. All bosses have their ego. So we need to give them that. All right, as long as you respect them, you just, just make yourself look down a bit, it's okay. Okay, to me, I always tell my employees, don't worry about that. Just make the boss, make him happy. Okay, sometimes we need to be humble. We need to make ourselves look low so that they will be happy with our services as well. Okay, this is a visit by Tracy Tan, an assistant director from the undergraduate career services previously in January. All right. Okay, if you are looking for job opportunities in SG Cash, currently we have 2 positions open. One is for the administrative executive. Basically, administrative executive, they will have to maintain client profile, including the data management filing. So we are not just looking for an admin officer. This is more a higher level one. Okay, so that's why you need to have a bachelor degree as well. Okay, so because you need to liaise with the clients, organize meetings, even like taking meeting minutes, produce documents, briefing papers, etc. And it's a more higher requirement than an admin assistant. So the requirement will be a minimum bachelor degree in finance related field. But if you do not have one, it's okay. You are feel free to actually submit the application as well. Bilingual is preferred, both English and Mandarin, because we do have clients who only speak Mandarin. Okay, and third point is one of the most important. You need to be independent, meticulous, dedicated, and committed. All right, who is able to work under stressful condition. The work stressful, don't be bothered by that. The reason is why we put that is because sometimes we do have influx of cases. You need to manage your time carefully and properly. Working hours in our firm is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. We only work 5 days a week, and our office is located in Raffles Place, just next to the MRT. So if you stay all over Singapore at the end of Singapore, it's still very convenient for you because we are right in the center. Okay, our position 2 opening is a credit and risk management officer. Okay, so what I've shared as a credit and risk management intern, more or less credit and risk management officer also, the job responsibilities are there because you are not an intern, you are already a full officer here. Okay, so you have to be an officer who is able to assess all the cases. And the requirement for this post will be a minimum bachelor degree in finance related field, preferably in banking and finance, or you are in the business. All right, bilingual is preferred, both English and Mandarin. As same thing, you need to be independent, meticulous, dedicated, and committed, and is able to work under stressful conditions. All right, working hours the same, 10 to 6 p.m. Sometimes, if there are more cases, probably we might work a bit later. All right, so we need to have this kind of, a give and take lah. So you need to take note of that. And that's about it for my briefing today. So I will not be taking any questions today. If you have any questions, later from 4 to 5 p.m., we do have a one-to-one chat if you want to ask any question. If not, you can also drop us an email at enquiry@sg-cash.com. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to receiving your documents. Take care. Bye-bye.